What's up, guys? This is Dizzy PW here, giving you a rundown on United Front Games' newly revealed title at PAX Prime, Smash and Grab. Now, for those of you that are familiar with United Front Games, you'll know they worked on something asynchronous, like Asian gangster game called Triad Wars last year. If you played that, you're going to have a good feel for how combat works going into Smash and Grab. It's essentially using something that's a slightly tweaked, slightly updated version of the game engine that controlled the combat in that game. So you're still going to have the over-the-top, gory kill shots. You're going to kick people and shoot them in the back of the head, all that kind of stuff. It's actually a little bit toned down compared to some of the stuff you could do in Triad Wars, but that might just be that we're playing on characters that haven't unlocked the really gruesome stuff yet. But let's talk about the gameplay a little bit. So, going into this, it might feel a little bit like a MOBA to you, in that you get to choose a tank character, a support character, or a ranged character. Now, there's 3 different gangs you can choose from. Each one kind of brings their own take on these classes. And on top of that, there's tons of customization going into this. It almost reminds me of this title Langrisser Swartz that we covered at the Gaming Game Show 4 or 5 years ago, where you basically completely deck out all of your backup characters just like your own character. So you've got a lieutenant coming in, you can choose what class they're set up. Say you want to be ranged, you could have a support lieutenant or a tank lieutenant that can kind of body block and keep the enemies at bay for you to buy you some time. Same thing, you get a crew of thugs that run with you. This is just your shitty minion guys are there to soak up damage and to carry your loot for you. And you can also choose which class you want. So you can go hardcore, a full tank build, and just have your entire crew body blocking for your allies, which, as I'm going to get into in a second, is a 3v3 brawl where each player brings their own crew with them into an arena. But yeah, so there's a lot of customization going on. There's a lot of progression as well. As you flip through the menus, you can see that there's a mastery tree for each one of these groups. There's different things you unlock over time. There's things you unlock that you can switch back and forth between when you can only have one, so it kind of gives you some play around to see what really works out for you and how to really set yourself apart. And as you can imagine, there's going to be insane cosmetic customization. They already have so much in game. It's clearly going to be a heavy focus here. I'm not really sure on how much monetization versus progression unlock that's going to be. That's still a decision for the devs to make. But let's jump into some gameplay and look at how it plays out. So essentially, you smash and you grab. That's the whole idea of the game. You break out of the subway system and you go to town. You have to actually kick in and shoot down windows. That's a thing you got to do. You got to keep an eye on your back at all times, because hey, just because you smash the window doesn't mean you get to grab what's behind that window. If you get jumped and killed, not only are they going to take money off of looting your bodies, but they're going to also get whatever you just broke free. To add a bit more chaos to it, there's occasional drop boxes that come down, sort of like if you've played Ark or a game like that in Survival of the Fittest. Everyone just rushes for these, and it's chaos and pandemonium, and it's where the real group fight action comes into play. Otherwise, I like the city landscape of the battlefields. I feel like it's just the perfect wide enough range for giving melee versus range equal footing with fighting each other. And I gotta say, the head-to-head fighting, this is what Triad Wars was missing. Long gone is asynchronous gameplay. Now you actually get to go face-to-face with another player, actively blocking, actively dodging, actively combo attacking each other. It is a hilarious and adrenaline-pumping situation, especially when you've got like 2 gangs backing you up and it's just a big old battle royale right in the middle. The skills seem like they take a lot of strategy to use. Like, you can really whiff skills easily in this game if you're not careful. You also have to understand that like things like range or balance, and that if you're shooting from a long ways away, not only are you going to be missing your mark, but you're going to be doing less damage. So you actually have a little bit of incentive to stay in range of the melee people for max gain on dishing out damage and DPS over time. Otherwise, you're just going to be useless sitting at the back firing off your gun, not helping anyone. And when the melee all come for you, you're dead anyway. So as the gameplay plays out, more storefronts start to open up. There's more things you can steal, new, more powerful like temporary weapons unlock that you can go and loot. And you can also loot upgrades for your little henchmen too. So just because you've got a badass gun doesn't mean you shouldn't loot the badass gun in enemy territory if you get the opportunity, because it all plays out in the end. And as this goes on over time, you will see the team has a total looted value, which plays out as your team score, almost like some kind of Dominion battle to try to get the highest value. It's just cash in this case. That's about all we've seen on the game for now. I'm sure that we've got some sweet beta keys to give out pretty soon. It seems like they're going to be jumping right into beta testing right around the corner. So you can believe that you'll be finding out a lot more right here at MMOHuts in the coming months. This is Dizzy PW signing out on our assignment for Smash and Grab.